Mission, if we choose to accept it. Go to Union Square, the Regal Cinema, see Good Time, produced by Oscar. Get to see the talk after the movie, Casey Neistat and Oscar. This is our mission if we choose to accept it. On my way to the train station right now. Made it aboard the train. Here we go. Happening up here. Outdoor concert of some sort? Not sure. It's loud though. Whatever this is. It's a beautiful day to be in the city.
You know you look good, right?
Thank you, sir.
Where are you from?
The universe. Thank you, sir. Ooh, I think I found it. I believe it is right there. About to find it. Here we go. Crazy people walking around talking to themselves on cell phones. Oh wait, I'm on. I need one of those people to show up with the bolt cutters and cut my selfie stick.
I just got it.
So that should be it. Did we do it or not? Let's find out. Where's the mountain? Where's the mountain? Boosted borders. Made it. That's it right there. Mission accomplished. Right there. Right there.
So we're just going to say a couple of words and then let the movie play, and then after the movie come up here and chit-chat. But you don't have to stay to listen to us chit-chat, but you should stay through the end of the movie. I wasn't involved in this movie at all. I just really, really love the guys. They're two of my closest friends who made the movie. Then Oscar produced the movie. And then I saw it, and it was like a really fucking great movie. So
let's watch the movie, and if you want to stay and tell us what you think. I've always thought of going to the cinema as a participatory experience, so I hope this one can be that.
I've seen it once. The movie is like, they don't need to be prepared for it. It's fucking gritty and raw. It's great. Okay, all right, we're gonna come talk to you guys when this is over.
And the community in New York is so inspiring too. And I'm from a very small town in Maine, and it's what I always romanticize about living in New York and participating in this community. And I got a job working for Casey and his brother Van on Craigslist my first day here about 10 and a half years ago. And I was a total snob actually, because I was a cinephile and I wanted to work for Wes Anderson or Jim Jarmusch or somebody like that. And I was like, who are these guys? Who do they think they are that they get me as an assistant? But to be in the environment where like, oh my God, there's three of us and we're making this stuff that's right next to, we have the HBO show, so we're right next to these giant productions on HBO. And then the other movies that I've done, the first one in New York, we had a director who had just made two pretty giant movies with Ben Stiller and Nicole Kidman. And his movie got canceled and he said, I still want to make something. What can I make where nobody's going to mess with me? This is Noah Baumbach. The movie's called Frances Ha. And we made a feature on a Canon 5D Mark II. But he treated us like we were still making that Ben Stiller movie.
Nick. He wrote and directed this movie. He's just happens to be the most unbelievable actor, in addition to all of those other virtuous skills.
And he records sound, there are pictures of him. He's in full makeup with a boom while getting patents in direction.
That's how you make a movie.
And I think actually, if there's one thing I wanted to say, when I think about your work and some of the work that I get to be involved in, Safi's work, there's a point of view, right? And for this movie, a lot of people worked on it, but it does feel like something that was handmade. It feels like it was made by a couple people, and sometimes that feels elusive to me in the landscape.
Yeah, it's funny, the thing that I fucking hated about working in the movie industry was that you'd have this fun idea. I always describe it like you have an idea, it's like an ice cube. And in your head it's vivid, and you can see the corners and the shape, and you know exactly what that ice cube looks like. But in order to get it made, you need money and producers and all these people, and every time you show somebody your ice cube, it melts a little bit. And then by the end of getting through that whole process, the ice cube's melted, and you're like, shit, what was that? And you're just left with a wet hand. Is that a good analogy? And that's why I was like, fuck this, and I just embraced YouTube, because there's nothing between me creating and the audience. It's just my idea. Hey, here's my ice cube, and you guys get to see it fully formed. And I have to say, all my experiences in the movie industry, the guys who made this movie, the directors, as far as creative vision goes, they're the most uncompromising, fuck you filmmakers I've ever met. And I say that as one, they're two of my closest friends, and two, I've produced movies for them, which means me being I think you should change the ending, and them being we're not changing the fucking ending. The most and to see a movie of this scale with a movie star like that, where they compromise nothing, and it's it's so their vision. It's such a rare thing. You can find that on YouTube. You can find that with individual creators. But to make a movie like this requires a machine. People like Oscar.
Well, and I also, having been so lucky to know Casey for 10 years and watch his career, you see, a lot of people. You watch a video and kind of, he got so well known so quickly, or it happened overnight. But in fact, it's this guy's been working on this thing and making it more perfect and continuing to push it out there when nobody was watching, continuing to push it out there when no one was listening. And I think for a lot of the people in that building, and with this film in particular, I'm so proud, because it is a testament that if you keep on communicating, and you really want to communicate, people will start to trust you and say, hey, this person actually wants to communicate. They were doing it when nobody was listening, when nobody was watching. And I trust them. I want to learn their language, and I want to be part of their conversation.
What did you guys think? It was intense, right? There's no way you saw it sitting in the front row. I've seen this from the front row before. I'm just going to stand up so I can see you. So actually, my friend Max made a great movie called Dicks. Have you guys seen that? It's on YouTube. And it's the thesis is, do you have to be a dick to be a successful director? And his answer is somewhere between yes and no. But I can tell you that when you're on sets, and the director's the general of the army, there's no one higher than the director. When the director knows their vision so specifically and so acutely, there's no question you can go to them that they can't answer, and answer with confidence. And when that's the case, they are the end-all be-all. There's no second guessing. And I can tell you unequivocally, the directors of this movie, who I've worked with, they don't need your fucking advice. They don't want your stupid suggestions. They have all the answers, and they know exactly what they're trying to do. And then I've been on sets that are sort of the opposite, with like first-time directors, not sure, not so confident, and they get sort of pushed around. Because the people you have doing the lighting, the people you have doing the sound, the people you have pulling focus, these are all experts. They've been on 50 sets. The director, ironically, maybe he's only been on a few sets, but the cinematographer's been on 25 sets.
So when he or she slips, everybody can feel it, and everyone loses confidence in that person. You need a leader, and you have to lead unequivocally. What's amazing about Josh and Benny, which I have so much respect for, is that they surround themselves with people who will challenge them on every decision and fight them on every decision, and that takes a lot of balls, because a lot of filmmakers sadly get to a place where they're surrounding themselves with yes people, and then they're thinking that they're making a good movie. They're up in a skyscraper. They're not listening to anyone, let alone the street or their collaborators. So I love that about Josh and Benny.
One more?
Sure. All right, you pick. I read it, I was just like, man, they somehow found a way to make what I think of as genre just so weird and normal and demented.
And Oscar had a co-producer named Sebastian. Sebastian's also a fantastically talented.
He's over there.
You might recognize him as one of the undercover police officers arresting Pattinson in the end of the movie.
Look for it.
But Sebastian, just like Oscar, beyond being a movie producer, also makes movies. And I think that's a big difference. When you've got a producer who knows how to actually make a movie, how to realize their vision, versus someone who doesn't have that experience, that's a big distinction.
And when you're around this guy, when we're all working in that same building, and you know that you can get that shot for $5, and somebody who's like a financing producer, a studio person or something, is like, oh, we need this and that, it's going to be expensive. And it's like, no, it's not. I know that we can get that shot right now. I'm going to do it. See you later. I'll be back with it. We don't need to schedule this day. And that's empowering, right? If you know that, then you're the most empowered filmmaker there is. And I think that's the expectation for the next generation of filmmakers, is that you can do both.
We should end this by saying, I've been trying to talk Oscar out of producing movies for like the last 5 years, because I've been trying to convince him to become a YouTuber. Right? Like, stop making your precious movies, Oscar. The internet needs you. Okay, guys, thank you.
I am.
Yeah.
First day here.
Oh, no comment.
Mr. Neistat.
Here's a better life.
But good Q&A. The movie was awesome. And now I wander around the city and contemplate my film. Heading home now. Very inspiring evening. But yeah. What do you call all the running around to get out here was definitely well worth it. Back at Penn Station. Bright lights. One of those with me. here. Be a big sign that was right there. I love that big sign. That it was meant that what do you call it? Either coming or going and leaving the city after a fun night, or a night that wouldn't end. But big sign's gone. Don Ellen. Don Ellen State. Don Ellen. Now, is the bike still here? Beep, 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 beep. Whoa. Going to the train shot. Walk at the same speed. Walk at the same speed. Walk at the same speed. Now there's a train. Now there is a train. I'm not the one who's so far away when I feel the snake bite enter my vein. Never did I wanna be here again, and I don't remember why I came. The Nellen Theater's up here on the right. I'm on the way home, right next to Zepco's. I don't know how much it'd be to rent. But when my movie is done, I'd like to do the premiere there or the Dunbrook Theater. They're both in basically walking distance from my house. This one especially, I saw Labyrinth there in '86. Just saying. That theater.